Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cryptonews Weekly Roundup. It was great having Richard on the show, but I missed my co-host, and we have her back. Rachel, how are you? How was Europe? You're still in Europe. How's everything? Great to have you back.
Yeah, good to be back. Thanks, Matt. Paris is amazing as usual. And let me just tell you guys, the crypto scene is thriving and so lively here. So good stuff.
I love it. Great to have you back, Rachel. Let's jump into it. Folks, not that much happening this week. As always, we're going to start off with some price action. Bitcoin down, give or take, less than 1% on the week. ETH is up 2% on the week. Solana, also known as Salami, is also up about 1%. And of the top 10 coins, no one has moved either gain or loss more than 3% on the week. So a very chill week from a price action front. And I guess the biggest news of the week was just more geopolitical stuff, the war between Israel and other countries in the Middle East, and of course the hurricanes, 2 back-to-back hurricanes really hitting Florida hard, really hitting sort of the southeastern part of USA hard. Before we get into anything else, just prayers and thoughts out to them. We hope everything is okay. And if you guys are still there, please be safe, sending good vibes, a speedy recovery, and everything else positive your way. With that being said, some of the best news of the week, Rachel, the Giving Block has set up an emergency response fund and is letting people donate crypto, which we absolutely love to see.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. This is kind of breaking news because, Hurricane Milton just happened. So the Giving Block just sent out a tweet a few hours ago saying that Jared Isaacman, the CEO of the Giving Block's parent company, Shift4, he stated that the first $500,000 donated to the Hurricane Helene and Milton Response Fund and participating charities will be matched 1-to-1. That adds up to a total of $1 million in support for relief efforts. And of course, donations can be made in cryptocurrency, in fiat. And all of this is on the Giving Block website. This is very interesting news because the crypto community can now help those victims of the hurricane.
Absolutely love to see this. This is easily my favorite story of the week, and that's why we kicked it off with that. I guess the second biggest story of the week, Rachel, was the Bitcoin documentary. This was HBO's big documentary that finally popped off this week. HBO usually crushes it with docs. Full disclosure, I haven't watched the whole thing yet. Just saw a bunch of snippets on socials, but it was a pretty wild week, especially with our big old betting platform, also known as Polymarket. Before the doc came out earlier this week, Rachel, Len Sassaman was to be unveiled as Satoshi Nakamoto. Most of the bettors on Polymarket predicted that the prominent technologist who passed away back in 2011 would be revealed as the anonymous Bitcoin creator. Fast forward later on this week, and the show goes live, and then everyone thinks it's Peter Todd, the former Bitcoin core developer. Peter Todd, absolutely, for a lack of better words, lost his shit on HBO and the rest of the crew as he said, I now have multiple security risks. People know who I am now. This isn't good. He is a cypherpunk, and he also denied any alleged accusations that he was indeed Satoshi Nakamoto. I'm glad this is all over. I don't even know why this aired. I think Bitcoin is much better without having a real person as Satoshi Nakamoto, whether it's a guy, a girl, a group, doesn't matter, who cares. But I'm glad this is all over. Moving forward, Rachel, every week it seems you and I jump on here and the SEC is slapping out Wells notices left, right, and center like it's going out of style. They've slapped over another one, and that is the Crypto.com.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Crazy things always happening in this industry. So Crypto.com has taken legal action against the SEC following a Wells notice, arguing that the agency is overstepping its authority by classifying most cryptocurrency transactions as securities. So Crypto.com filed a lawsuit against the U.S. SEC after receiving this Wells notice on October 8th this year. The Wells notice issued by the SEC indicates that the agency may take enforcement action related to Crypto.com's token sales. So will this ever end in the United States? Is this just going to keep happening? It seems like it.
They love slapping those out. And to my knowledge, it's not like it's a lengthy process on their end too. So I don't know why they love doing it so much, but to each their own. Next up on the docket, Rachel, where you and I first met in lovely Texas. So that was Austin for Consensus. Texas locals have absolutely slammed Marathon Digital, a company that I actually love, over lawsuit with noise pollution. Residents of Granbury, Texas have filed a lawsuit against Marathon Digital accusing the Bitcoin mining company of generating noise at its local facility. The legal action was submitted to Hood County on October 4th, and they are claiming that the noise levels from the site has caused significant disturbances and discomfort. According to the complaint, the noise emanating from Marathon's Bitcoin mining facility has created a persistent nuisance, leading to several discomforting noises to those nearby. I've only seen small scale mining facilities. I've never been to an absolutely massive one. It probably is pretty loud, and this is a bit of a tough one, but I hope it works out for everyone. Speaking of Bitcoin miners, Rachel, Bitcoin miner IREN is facing a class action lawsuit over misrepresentation of their computing capabilities as well.
Yeah, more Bitcoin mining news. So IREN, formerly known as Iris Energy, is facing a class action lawsuit from investors who allege that the cryptocurrency mining company misrepresented its high performance compute capabilities. The lawsuit is being led by Paul Williams Israel. It was filed in a New York federal court on October 7th, and it accuses IREN of misleading claims about its Childress, Texas facility. That is a city in Texas, I guess, and I should know that because I'm from Texas. So the central claim of the lawsuit is that IREN's facility was portrayed as an HPC-ready data center, but apparently it's not.
I love that. That was a bit of a massive tongue twister to it. Well done, Rachel. Moving forward.
Childress, Texas.
Childress, Texas. That's the one. Moving forward, Robinhood's Dan Gallagher, who is a big dog, could lead the SEC if Trump wins. Folks, this is huge news. As the current SEC chair, we won't even name him. He has way too much face time. We all know who he is. We're not the biggest fans of him. Dan Gallagher, Robinhood's chief legal officer and former SEC commissioner, has emerged as the top candidate to lead the SEC if Donald Trump secures the 2024 presidential election. Gallagher also served as SEC commissioner from 2011 to 2015 and is highly regarded in Republican circles as a leading contender for the chair. He does have a pretty impressive background, has worked for a bunch of big companies and is advocating multiple deregulatory policies and raising concerns about post-financial crisis reforms. This has positioned him very well within discussions about the future direction of the SEC. Shout out to Dan. Hopefully he gets in. Speaking of the SEC, someone who has worked very closely with the SEC and the federal courts in New York to really get down and hammer everyone in FTX, the Ex-Alameda CEO, Caroline Ellison, who was supposed to spend 1 million years in jail, is now free to roam the streets because she is a snitch. She's in the news again. Rachel, what do you have about Caroline Ellison?
Yeah, crazy stuff. FTX just keeps on going and going. So basically, Caroline Ellison has agreed to relinquish the majority of her assets to FTX debtors as part of a settlement with the FTC bankruptcy. So the agreement was detailed in a court filing on Monday of this week. It aims to recover assets to benefit creditors impacted by the collapse of FTX. According to the filing by FTX Trading, Ellison will transfer substantially all of her assets to the FTX people in debt.
Honestly, Rachel, after you telling me that, I think I like her a little bit more now. I know she did snitch on everyone, but the fact that she's giving her assets that haven't already been seized, pretty much, I guess, everything she owns, her whole net worth. Shout out Caroline. She's doing a good thing here. Moving forward, one of my favorite countries on the planet, Argentina, overtakes Brazil in crypto inflows from a new report from Chainalysis. Argentina obviously has one of the fastest growing cryptocurrency markets, and that is because of their currency, which is absolutely horrendous. Heard a story that, this is actually not a story, this is facts. 20 years ago, $1 was 10 Argentinian pesos. Fast forward to today, $1 is 1,200 Argentinian pesos. That is a 100x increase in currency. That is absolutely wild. Crypto users in Argentina deposited the largest amount of crypto in Latin America between June 2023 and June 2024, with inflows totaling $91 billion. And again, this was a report filed by Chainalysis on October 9th. We love to see that. Shout out Argentina. And last but not least, Sam Altman in the news again, Rachel. Worldcoin turns attention to Asia after trying to go all in on Europe and not getting the green light.
Yeah, I mean, Worldcoin has been definitely a project of interest. There are some blockchain elements there, but basically Fabian Bodensteiner, the managing director of the project's Europe subsidiary, said at a recent summit that the company is now focusing on markets where local companies and governments actively embrace new technologies. So I guess Asia is definitely a good contender for that. Makes sense. Let's see what happens.
Tons of people, a lot of, unfortunately poor and third world countries in Asia makes total sense. Get everyone online, give everyone a world ID, a digital identity, and hopefully give them a way to support a fair global economy. Folks, that wraps it up for the week. We hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please do subscribe or follow us on Twitter, now known as X, and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We really appreciate you tuning in. Rachel, it was great to have you back. Very jealous you're enjoying your time in lovely Paris. Eat a bunch of baguettes, eat a bunch of croissants, have some good espressos, some good wine. And folks, we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Bye, guys.
See you guys.